Hello and welcome into the WNK channel. I am George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with Weather Now Kentucky, and we're back finally here. Give me just 1 second though, because I did forget to shut this dang door. Rookie mistake. There we go. Rookie mistake. I forgot I had the fan on out there and I still have the door open. How are we doing? It's been so long since I've chatted with you guys. We do have the 7-day outlook here for you. Most importantly, we're kind of looking at Wednesday for the potential for severe weather. At the least, strong storm activity does look probable, not just possible, on Wednesday. Another small event on Sunday as well. Talking about some more record heat as well this week. So a few different things to talk about for your 7-day outlook here. Let's go ahead and get started in here in about a minute. I did start a little bit early just in case anyone wanted to chat for a second. We're live on both YouTube and Facebook this evening as always. If you would not mind, tap the share button if you're over there on Facebook. Get this video shared out to your news feed so that your friends and family can get informed on what to expect for this week as well. If you missed our post from earlier, there is a heat advisory out for tomorrow from noon to 8 p.m. basically from Paducah to Mayfield to points west toward Missouri. Does not include anywhere else in Kentucky. Last time I checked, let me go ahead and check on that again before I put my foot in my mouth here. I should say. Let me go ahead and check that. Yeah, it still exists only for Western Kentucky. I'll go ahead and show you real quickly while we're waiting on folks to get in here. So again, if you're just not tuning in, a heat advisory is in effect for tomorrow from noon to 8 p.m. for Western Kentucky. Again, unclear if the rest of Kentucky will see that advisory. I don't think so. Mainly because the reason for it is in Western Kentucky, you'll see higher temperatures and dew points tomorrow, mainly dew points, and that's going to lead to higher heat indexes. Heat indexes of up to 110 degrees may occur tomorrow out there in Western Kentucky. That will lead to perhaps some heat exhaustion if you're outside too long, and that's the reason for the heat advisory. I believe anything over 103 degrees is heat exhaustion level, and anything over 125 degrees and you're out there for a prolonged period of time, that's more of your heat stroke level. But again, you can still get heat stroke tomorrow as well if you're out there in Western Kentucky, because if not taking care of yourself and you're outside too long, you can get dried out pretty easily there. So let's go ahead and roll into the information here and kind of get showing you on what to expect. Before we do that, I want to give you a message from our sponsors real quickly. It won't take too long, and then we're going to talk about the potential for severe weather on Wednesday, some stormy Sunday signals that we're seeing, and we'll take a brief look at July 3rd as well. And a lot of people are going to be traveling, and we do see another stormy signal for that as well. So the pattern is changing, but we'll go into that in just a second. Let's give you a message from our sponsors real quickly. It's been a long time. If you wouldn't mind, hear them out here. It'll take about a minute and a half to get through this video. See you guys on the other side. Make Right Implement your go-to spot this spring and summer for all of your equipment needs. With over 15 locations throughout Kentuckiana, they have so many destinations for you to choose from. They have great customer service, a super knowledgeable staff, and high-quality products that are also affordable. Oh, and they're always running deals like these here. Thank you so much, Right Implement, for being a supporter of the Weather Now Kentucky channel.
Yeah, I'm Steve with Greyhawk Roofing. Some things that make us different about Greyhawk Roofing. Number one, we're family owned and operated. We don't treat it as a transactional relationship. We treat it more like a long-term relationship. Check us out on Google, check us out on Facebook, check out our website. We've got a lot of our work on there. You can take a look at our portfolio. Do free estimates, free inspections, so we don't charge anything for that. So just give us a shout, 606-547-7519. Thank you.
When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Fire it up, Randy! Yeah! By being prepared for anything! Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
All right, thank you to our sponsors, Serve Pro, Right Implement, and Greyhawk Roofing. We appreciate them a ton. Let's get right into the information here. So what I want to show you first is Wednesday. Tuesday, by the way, we're going to kind of skip over it. Going to be humid and hot once again tomorrow. Record-setting heat might occur once again. I easily could see another 90-degree day, along with dew points up in the mid to upper 60s. But a little bit of relief comes on Wednesday. The only caveat to that, Also a severe chance along with this. So let's go ahead and show you the NAM 3K model here. Let me go ahead and put this into the local view so you can kind of see the nameplates as well. So again, Monday, or the rest of its night looks clear. Tuesday, maybe a few stray showers. I don't expect anything crazy or any type of downpours. They'll actually be weakening as they enter Kentucky. So don't expect a whole lot on Tuesday morning, afternoon. A few more showers might pop up once again. Just that time of year, guys. Isolated pop-up showers always happen. You guys know how it rolls here. And then Wednesday morning around 5 to 6 a.m., that's where we see that first line on Wednesday come through. This one might pack a little bit more rainfall with it, believe it or not. Yes, we do need the rain. I know we saw a lot of rain for some folks at the beginning part of June, but I'll tell you that the constant 90-degree days, it's dried it out. If you go outside and you look below your grass, you'll probably start to see cracks in your dirt. That's how dry the soil is right now. We need the rain, I promise you. So this is valid for around 7 a.m. Eastern time. So if you're traveling to work tomorrow morning along the northwestern portions of the state, north central portions of the state, you might be driving through some heavy rainfall. We don't expect any severe weather, but a few rumbles of thunder can't be ruled out. Again, those summertime thunderstorms or thunder showers always have a few rumbles of thunder. Does not mean that it is severe. It just means that's probably a little bit of a stronger shower or two. Those will eventually push out towards south central and eastern Kentucky around 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern time, and then they'll fizzle out before they reach, Pikeville, Somerset. They'll fizzle out before then. Around 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern time, you can see some isolated pop-up cells. These could be quite strong, perhaps severe at this time. Model data is kind of different on whether there'll be some pop-up cells in the early afternoon hours on Wednesday. If they do pop up, I will tell you they'll be quite strong, perhaps even severe. So we'll keep an eye on those for you. By the way, the severe odds for Wednesday are looking like this, mainly damaging winds, maybe some small hail as well. There is a low tornado risk, but I think it's roughly 1%. Genuinely very low. I can't say 0% just because of the amount of wind shear that we see is kind of coming up on new model data. But I think it's like 1%, if that really, maybe even 0.5%. I just can't say it's 0, or else it would kind of be inaccurate. So then around 3 p.m. Eastern time, that one cell or two cells kind of devolves into a line. What we perhaps might see is a mesocyclone vortex. What that type of storms usually does is it produces, again, the damaging winds and small hail. You could see winds up to 60 to 70 mile per hour on Wednesday afternoon, along with torrential rainfall. Sometimes when you get rainfall that's that heavy on dry soil, the dry soil is slow to react to that heavy rainfall. So what might happen is we might see some flash flooding occur as a result of that, because the ground just can't take it all in. Just think about it like this. You have a sponge. You use that sponge for a while. It worked. Now it's been sitting on your counter for 2 or 3 weeks with nothing going on. Right? It's rock hard. It takes a while for that sponge to absorb the water whenever you're putting new water on it after sitting there for so long. That's kind of what our ground might do. I'm not saying it's 100% guaranteed, but it's kind of what our ground might do Wednesday afternoon. It might take a while for the rain to actually absorb into that soil. So we might have some flash flooding threats out there in western and central Kentucky. Around 4 p.m. Eastern time, that line pushes through to south central Kentucky, approaching Bowling Green at this time. Now, some models at this 4 to 5 p.m. time frame take that line and start to expand it on the northern side. So if you go back a few clicks, and you'll see not a whole lot happening on the northern side of the line. As we fast forward to 5 to 6 p.m., now it's kind of expanding it a little bit. That'll be yet to be seen. We'll have to kind of almost wait until Wednesday afternoon when this starts to initiate to see if that northern part of the line does start as well. If it does, we might get a tail end Charlie setup and start to go on. Basically what that means is at the end of both lines, so one end is down here toward southwestern Tennessee, and the other end is up here toward north central Kentucky. At the ends of both of those lines, you could get some real strong rotation to occur. Rotation does not always indicate tornadic activity. Most times in this type of setup, it indicates a pocket of damaging winds, along with perhaps moderate hail along with it. Again, going to have to wait to see how this evolves throughout the day. Models are kind of all over the place because right now up in the northern part of our country, up there toward Minnesota and whatnot, it's been storming like crazy, and those storm systems will actually impact how this storm system arrives on Wednesday. So that's why some of this is up in the air, but nonetheless, storms are probable on Wednesday, not just possible. Fast forward to 7 p.m. Eastern time, again, it tries to expand that line once more with a nice, strong cluster, perhaps even severe cluster out here for northeastern Kentucky, out toward Ashland, and then some more just heavy rainfall on the backside toward stretching from Lexington to Somerset back over toward E-Town and Bowling Green. Again, don't know how well that northern side of the line will evolve. What I feel more confident in right now is that southern side. So basically from Paducah to Bowling Green, maybe up toward the Western Kentucky Parkways, going to Cumberland Parkways. I feel more confident on that side of the line. Northern side, basically toward, Radcliffe, Elizabethtown, Louisville, Owensboro, Meade, Breckinridge County, up toward Lexington. A little bit less confident on that side of the line actually occurring. Can it happen? Absolutely. I'm not saying it won't. It's just the confidence is a little bit lower in it just because we don't really know how some of these lines will evolve as they actually occur. Models tend to really struggle with summertime setups. I mean, really struggle with summertime setups. So pushing this on forward here to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, that line's pushing out toward Eastern Kentucky. Still quite strong at that time, perhaps producing heavy rainfall and damaging winds still as it heads toward Pikeville, and then it starts to calm down, and then it's out of here. Overall, though, we get the main point. We might deal with some damaging winds, and we might deal with some heavy downpours of rainfall. But the main thing is we get rain. We get rain. So we might have to deal with some stuff to get there, but we get rain, and we need rain so bad right now. The beginning of the month we were running well ahead of schedule. We knew that would come to a balance, right? Everything's a pendulum in our weather world. But right now, it looks like we're kind of swinging back toward the wetter and more muggier phase of summer as we head throughout the last part of June here and going toward early July. So from this system on Wednesday, a rough half inch to maybe 1.5 inches of rain available for much of Kentucky. It shows some really high amounts out there toward eastern Kentucky, up there almost toward 2 to 4 inches in some locations. I don't know if that'll be the case, but hey, if you get caught in a couple of downpours that train over the same area, 2 to 3 inches of rain in a 12-hour period is not out of the question, and that's why flash flooding is a bit higher on my scale than it is for most people, because again, our ground is so dry that it's not going to respond really well at first to getting those downpours. So that's Wednesday for you. Marginal, I would say a slight severe risk might come out for most areas. Let me actually, there we go. I think right now they have a marginal risk out for much of Kentucky on Wednesday. They do. I feel like someone in this area could get a slight risk, which is that yellow 2 out of 5 risk. I don't see it going to 3 out of 5 just because the confidence overall is low in the event. We know storms will occur, but how they will occur, that sort of confidence is a little bit low. Right now, 1 out of 5 risks does exist for much of the state, though. So next on our list, let me slide my paper over here. Tuesday, I'm not going to cover that because that's pretty clear. Thursday, Friday, pretty clear as well. We'll say Thursday shaping up to be probably the prettiest day of the week for Kentucky, and the reason for that is dew points will be a lot lower on Thursday because of the rain that we see on Wednesday. So here's your dew points for Wednesday. It's overall disgusting out there. If you guys are from here or anywhere near the south, you know that when these dew points get over 70 degrees, you don't even want to look outside. You're just going to start sweating. It's muggy. So you see the dew points for Wednesday evening, 75 out there for Paducah, 72 for E-Town. These are not temperatures, these are dew points. And that's why those heat advisories are starting to come out for Tuesday, Wednesday, because again, the dew points can elevate what it feels like outside, and it makes your body trigger that sweat hormone, and that's why a lot of folks get dehydrated. You get dehydrated while you're outside of 90 to 100 degree heat. Now you're talking about heat exhaustion and heat stroke concerns as well. So make sure you're hydrating not only while you're outside, but before you go outside, and limit your time outdoors. Yes, I know summer. Yes, I know summer is hot. But two things can be true. It can be summer, and it's always hot in summer, but it can also be abnormally hot, and we are abnormally hot right now. We're running well above average on our temperature scale. Will that occur in July as well? Hard to tell at the moment. But I do know that it's not going away anytime soon. So make sure you're taking care of your folks out there and making sure that your AC is okay as well. Because it's going to be quite hot for a while. Now, again, Thursday does look a little bit better. Here's your dew points for Thursday. You can see the difference. Instead of it being 70 to 76 degrees on the dew points for Thursday, we're talking about 58 to perhaps 63 degree dew points on Thursday. That's much more comfortable. Still a little bit muggy, but that's much more comfortable than what we've been dealing with. On Friday, your dew points look a little bit better as well, but they start to go back up a little bit. Now we're looking at low to mid 60s, starting to approach that mugginess level again. Not too bad, but Friday night, it starts to ramp back up again, and then Saturday just looks disgusting. I'm just going to be flat out honest with you guys. It looks disgusting. And basically, if you're I-65 to points west on Saturday, I wouldn't go outside if I were you, because you have the dew points that I'm talking about. Your low to mid 70s on the dew points here, and then your temperature on Saturday looking like it's going to be in the upper 90s for a lot of folks. 96 in Elizabethtown, 95 in Louisville, 93 in Bowling Green, 97 degrees in Somerset and Pikeville. What that leads to is a heat index well above 100 for most folks. Talking about 104 in Elizabethtown, 107 in Louisville, 106 in Paducah, and so on and so forth. What we hope for is that over the next few days, these temperatures and these dew points trend down on data, and hopefully it doesn't get this hot. But Saturday looks to be the hottest day of the week. Thursday looks to be the nicest day of the week. Friday and Tuesday are kind of somewhere in between. Wednesday and Sunday are your stormy days. So speaking of Sunday, let's go ahead and roll on into Sunday here. So Sunday, it's not as widespread as Wednesday, but there could be, again, another couple of rounds of rain showers that move through. I don't see quite the severe signal, but some more much needed rain. A few pop-up showers are between 1 to 7 a.m. Eastern time, going toward that 1 p.m. Central time, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Those rain showers move down toward Tennessee and out of Kentucky. And then another round coming later next week, but we'll talk about that at some point down the road. We are seeing kind of a severe signal here. This is July 3rd, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Again, this is well out, so we won't talk about this too much. This is a solid 10 days away at this point, so we're not going to hit on it too much. But I know, of course, July 3rd, July 4th, people are preparing and having July, Independence Day celebrations. So just to touch on it real briefly, we do see a stormy signal somewhere between July 2nd to July 5th. Somewhere in that area, there might be a line of storms that pushes through that could carry a severe potential with it. You can kind of look at this in the shape of that line. Without even clicking on anything or reading anything else, I can just tell you that that's a strong line of storms, right? That looks like an MCV or perhaps even a derecho type of storm system, but we'll talk about that down the road. I just want you to know that signal is there. The main things for this week: Wednesday is your stormy severe risk day for much of Kentucky. Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday look clear, but Thursday looks like your most pretty day with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, dew points in the lower 60s, upper 50s, so much more comfortable out there. Saturday is by far your hottest day out there of the week. Make sure you're limiting your time outdoors, or if you are outdoors, make sure you have access to water and shade or anything that might be able to cool you down. Again, our bodies aren't made to be out there in that 110 to 115 degree heat index type of day. So that's all from here at W&K. I don't see any questions or comments. Lynn says on YouTube, any rain in sight? Yes, on Wednesday we do see about roughly an inch of rain coming toward Kentucky. Now again, that comes with a potential for severe weather, but at this point we'll kind of take rain any way we can get it. Princess Lee on Facebook says, hello from E County. Hello, how are you doing? Beth says the lower humidity today felt great. Enjoyed it while I could. I agree with you, Beth. On Thursday, it'll be beautiful outside. Maria over there on YouTube says, thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in here with us. I'm George Herbig, Chief Forecaster here with Weather Now Kentucky. It's great to be back with you all. We'll start rolling these out once a week like we used to do. Life's been kind of busy as of late, but we're back. We're going to be taking care of you guys this summer as storm season starts to tick back up once again, going toward July. Stay safe out there, Kentucky.